Okay, guys, we're going to go through a W-2. We're going to do the one for Antonio, who works at Dairy Queen, Antonio Davis. And we're going to use the step-by-step guide because the first time that I went through one of these, I didn't do all the steps right. And so I want to point out kind of some places where things can go wrong. So you're going to start by going to the website that's given right here at TurboTax Online/education. So I've typed that in, and that's what I've got going over on the right-hand side. So I'm supposed to sign into TurboTax using any email address, but it has to end in at intuiteducation.com. So it doesn't really matter what you start it with. So I'm just going to say cyclone at intuiteducation.com. And then I am going to, I'm going to copy that, Control C and Control V, so that I know that it's the same email address. Then the user ID, that is going to be my email address as well. So I'll just paste that in there. For the phone number, they suggest using 555-555-5555. And then this is a really important step. You have to uncheck this box right here. See this box that says verify with text message? You have to uncheck that. If you don't uncheck it, then it's going to try and send you a text message to verify, and that's obviously not a working number and it's not a working email address. So we have to make sure that we uncheck that box. So they suggest for a password to use TurboTax 1234 exclamation point. It really doesn't matter what you use for your password. I'm just going to copy and paste that again and then click create account. Oops, I apparently didn't copy my password. Control C and Control V. Nope, that's the email. I'll just type it again. TurboTax 1234 exclamation point. And then create account. I'm not going to save my password. That's something I don't need to do. On the next screen, I'm going to ignore the verification prompt and click continue to TurboTax. So I'm going to click right here, continue to TurboTax. Part 2. Part 2 says we're going to do our taxes. There's many steps and pages. On the first screen, we're going to select that we have a job with a W-2. So as soon as that loads up, I'm going to select I have a job right here, and I received a W-2. So I'm going to click that guy. And scroll down and choose free edition, file for $0. So scroll down, choose free edition, click on file for $0. Now it says, as you move through TurboTax, a couple of general tips. Every screen you'll have to click or enter information in order to continue, and they're going to ask you lots of questions. The answers are either going to be on the W-2 or on the information sheet that goes with each scenario. It says we have about 20 screens that we have to click through before we get to enter the W-2 information. So we are going to continue. Okay, here's some other stuff we might need to know. So I'm going to open up this W-2 and I'm going to start by typing in Antonio, because that's whose taxes we're doing, Antonio Davis. Antonio's date of birth is right here in the paragraph. It's July 21st, 2001. So 07/21/2001. Antonio's zip code is right here in his address. Oh, no, that's Dairy Queen's. His is 92116. 92116. And he does not live outside the US. So we're good there. We're not going to check that box. And we're going to click continue. How did you do your taxes last year? It's going to tell us over here. It says he needs to file his taxes for the first time in the paragraph. Right there it says. So he did not file taxes last year. So I'm going to click on that. How is he feeling about doing his taxes? Let's see. Does it tell us? He is a bit nervous to file his taxes. So let's say not so good. And then continue. Antonio is a high school senior. I'm assuming he's not married, so we'll click single. And he did not have any children. He was not a college student. He did not own a home, and he did not pay rent, so we'll click continue again. Okay. He didn't do any of these extra things. He didn't own any property or have medical expenses. Antonio is a pretty straightforward one. Oops, I didn't need to show more. I needed to click continue. So we'll click continue. Here is his personal information. We are starting with a W-2, and let's see. Wondering if you will have all the documents. Click here to find out. Well, what all documents are we going to need here? We're going to need a W-2. Yes, we have that. I don't need to print the list. Why can't I see? Oh, there we go. Let's keep going. It was hidden. I got it now. So we're clicking let's keep going. We cannot import our information. We're just going to click on continue on this box. They want us to sign and date this form below. Well, Antonio doesn't have a spouse. I'm just going to say no thanks on this page. Why are we frozen, Antonio? Load, load, load. Okay, now we're going to run through the personal info. Continue. This is where we'll be filling in information that we can find on his W-2 and in his paragraph. We doesn't look like we have a middle initial, so we're going to leave that blank. His social security number is right here. Employee's social security number. It is 013 282019. And Antonio's occupation, it tells us in here that he works at Dairy Queen as a sales associate. So he is a sales associate. And he's not a member of the armed forces. Let's see. Antonio lives in California, and he did not live in another state in 2019. He's lived in California. I mean, it would tell us if he lived in another state. It may even give us that information here. But they did not live in another state. A few other things we need to know. Can someone else claim me as a dependent? Let's see. His parents can claim him as a dependent. It says right there. So yes. Was Antonio considered legally blind? It doesn't say he was. So I'm going to go with no. And no again. And he did not pass away, so we're going to click no on that and then continue. Looks like he was 18 by the end of the tax year. That means being enrolled full-time at school for at least 5 months during 2019. Yes, he is a student. It tells us he's a high school senior. So continue. School is cool. Continue. Review your answers below. Yes, he was single. He did not pay for more than half of his living expenses. That's just a little part-time job. He works like 10 hours a week and 30 hours during the summer. Was at least one of his parents alive? Yes. His parents both are alive. No, he does not have any children. Continue. Okay, current mailing address. We're going to get that from the W-2 right here, 3902 Georgia Street, 3902 Georgia Street, San Diego, California, 92116. There's no extension on his phone number. Continue. And here's the standard format, and here's what we entered. So we'll just use the standard format because that's recommended. And he did not make money in another state. It tells us that in this other piece of information. It says we did not make money in another state, have dependents, or receive retirement income. So no, I did not make money in another state. Continue. Because you weren't married, single is right for you. So that they're just explaining why they chose the filing status single. So we're going to click continue. Here's personal information. We're not going to add a dependent. We are just going to click continue. Now we're going to stick with the free edition. So we are not going to upgrade. We're just going to click not now. Now we're ready to put the W-2 info in. So let's get started. I am going to work on my W-2 now. Continue. And now it's going to ask me to enter information. So it's telling me box B. So I go over here to box B right here. And there's going to be my employer identification number. It is 522972543. Continue. Box C, employer name. That's right here, box C. So it is Dairy Queen International. The employer name, line 2, not another employer name. There is an address, 1640 Camino del Rio. That is in San Diego, California. Okay, come on. Where are you? There you are. And the zip code is 92116. Box D is for a control number if they have it. I look at box D here. There's nothing in there, so I'm going to leave that blank and move on to income and taxes withheld. So I'm just going to go through box 1, and I just type in the information that is in the box that they're asking me about from my W-2. Box 2, federal tax withheld, is here in box 2. It is 56401. Box 3, Social Security wages, is the same as my box 1 number. So box 3 is that amount. Box 4, Social Security tax withheld, that's 58528. Box 5, Medicare wages, is again that same number. They're not always the same number. They're not on mine, but they are for Antonio. Medicare tax withheld, 13688. And then less common items. So we're going to look through all these boxes. Box 7 is empty, so we leave it blank. Box 8 is empty, we leave it blank. Verification code, that's uncommon. There isn't one on here, so we're going to leave that blank. Box 10, dependent care benefits, that's blank. Box 11, also blank. and then 12A through D. So box 12, we have, doesn't look like anything in box 12. So we're going to leave that blank as well. Wonder what the codes mean. Oh, goodness. Those look complicated. Antonio's pretty simple, so we're just going to leave that blank. Box 13, nothing is checked, so we don't check anything. Box 14 is empty, so we don't mark anything on that. State and local taxes. Leave blank if empty on your form. So box 15, California, the employer's state ID number, that's right here. It is 421-502878. State wages and tips, they're the same as his other wages and tips were. State income tax was $597. And then we look for box 18, which is empty. And they've covered up box 19 and 20 with this little graphic that says we recommend the free edition. That's because they're not in there. Like they're empty, so we didn't need them. Oh, look at this. Right here, it tells us Antonio did not serve in the National Guard and he is not legally blind. So there you go. I knew it, but that information was there. We don't need another row, so we are going to click continue. Now, once we get to the W-2 summary screen, we're going to quit entering stuff. So I'm just going to push on continue and see if we're at that W-2 summary screen. None of these things applied to Antonio, so I'll click none of the above, continue. I don't have another W-2 to enter. Okay, so here's the summary screen. At this point, we're not going to click done. What we're going to do is click tax tools on the left side of the screen. So I should have a place on there. If I click that little menu button, see this little menu button that's up here? I'm going to click the menu button, and then I'm going to go down to tax tools and then print center. Now, we're not really going to print. What we're going to do is save a PDF, and that's the thing that we're going to upload for our assignment. So let's wait for this little guy to load. So what we want to do is print, save, or preview this year's return. So we click that. Click on continue. Wait for it to load. Okay. Then we are going to try to find what it's telling me I need. I think I might have clicked the wrong thing. Let's see. Print to file, please enter your registration, use my info, and click continue to print. I guess I'm going to click continue and see what happens. I really don't like it when the instructions they give you don't match what you see. Okay, so we did have to click that extra continue, but now we're on what they're telling us to expect. Select use my info and then click continue to print. So this is already checked, so I don't need to check it. And then it says I'm supposed to continue to print, but it tells me to register. So I guess I'll click register. Oh, now I get to continue to print. So there's my continue to print button. Okay, so the only thing I need to print is my federal return. And it's telling me to do just my tax returns. And then I'm going to click View or Print Forms. And then it's going to pop up and give me a PDF right here. This is the document you're going to save and turn in with your assignment so that I will be able to see everything that you entered and make sure that things went well and that you have the same refund or payment due. So that is what we are looking for. If you have problems getting this to work right, I know it's given some people a little bit of heck, then just email me or come on the big blue button and I'll try and help you through it.